Let's make some people think.
That's what we're here for.
All right.
Um, Episode 62 of Living Out Loud. Uh, Ellen, Katie,
Katie,
haven't really given the backgrounds in a long time in case anybody's new. We are at almost 17,000 subscribers.
are we really?
Yeah,
That's because, yeah, that's right. We are.
we are.
Hmm.
And I don't know. When you look at the metrics on YouTube, it's like I'm convinced that people in this day and age no longer have an attention span.
Oh, yeah, because they
They
blow in and it says they watch it for 20 seconds and then subscribe and leave.
Yeah, or the shorts, that I do get all
Yeah.
the because and the shorter the short, the
The
more
more
views.
views.
Doesn't matter the topic. It's
No.
the shorter the short. Okay,
Isn't that?
which okay, well, we're all
Yeah. All
busy. All
right.
right, like we're all busy.
Okay.
I get it. We're busy.
All right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this week,
Yeah.
okay, what set me off on this path?
And I don't know, listeners, viewers, I don't even know what Ellen's up to this week. Okay.
Katie just flies in by the seat of her pants, all
Okay.
of her knowledge. Um, feel like I don't know. Okay, I read an article in People, and you know how I not that I disparage people,
You're on the
but
fence with people, though. Yeah.
there are people is on the fence. They'll have some really great articles about certain things,
Hmm.
and then where are Taylor and Travis? I
Right.
don't
Right. Right.
care. Okay, so the article that I read, and it was from July 11th.
Okay.
The title is Women
Hmm.
Getting Revenge is a Hot Topic right now, and we have the world to blame. Exclusive essay. You ready?
Okay. I'm trying to
Hot.
think what angle that is, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna lead you there.
All right.
Just like Frank Sinatra when he was playing live at the Sands. This man's gonna take me by the hand and lead me to the promised land.
Yeah, that's
All right.
exactly what it is. That's exactly what came to my head. Yeah.
Hot Girl Murder Club author Ashley Winstead breaks down why we're all obsessed with women turning the tables on men who have wronged them. Follow me.
Okay.
So she makes a couple points. As a scholar, I've always loved that books are time capsules we can use to understand the social, political, and cultural forces people were grappling with at different ages.
Okay.
And as a fiction writer, I can't stop thinking about what the books my colleagues and I are creating have to say about today.
Okay. Oh,
Some
okay.
years, yeah, some years I'll confess, I find the messages hard to parse. The trends in books, for example, might be full of conflicting urges and preoccupations that muddy the waters. 2026 is not one of those years.
Good.
Okay, here we go. Now that we're halfway through 2026, it's safe to say this is the year we're obsessed with where women stand in a post Roe, post Epstein, MAGA ascendant America.
Mhm.
I told you we were going to get into it.
Okay.
She talks about the popularity of the book Yesteryear. She talks about, okay, she says there's been some books that have come out about like trad wife, life and how people have been drawn to those.
Okay.
And then she's like, her readers' continued commitment to cozy fiction and romantasy, two genres that at first blush might not seem to have much to say about our current reality, but whose very popularity can be read as evidence of a widespread longing to escape.
Hmm.
All right, this is where it gets good.
Okay.
She's talking about some of the books that have come out this year that reimagine certain things. Like if the knife would have been turned on Norman Bates in
Mm.
Psycho instead of right. Um, or there's a couple examples, but she says these authors now who are
Mm.
coming out with these books Imagine all kinds of contemporary women, especially women who've been traditionally underestimated, such as survivors of intimate partner violence,
Mhm.
beauty queens, stay-at-home moms, and Hollywood starlets. They imagine them as more cunning, dangerous, and lethal than the men who, in real life, are one of the leading causes of their deaths. Then there is a link
Okay.
to a journal article about the statistics of how one of the leading causes of death for women in their reproductive years and also beyond is intimate partner violence,
Okay.
is being killed by your current spouse you're trying to divorce, ex-boyfriend. That is one of the leading causes of death for women in that age group.
Okay. Now hold that thought. I'll be right back. I got to manage something downstairs. I'm chewing on it. Don't talk to Lulu. I'll be back.
She's not even, I don't even know where she is. So Katie took a little, Katie's gotta take a break. I'll just keep going. So a couple of examples of books that have come out recently or are coming out, if anybody's interested. Marion by Leah Rowan, Lady X by Molly Fader, We Already Dug the Grave by Emma C. Wells, Pretty Dead Things, Somebody Worth Killing, Hot Girl Murder Club, Strangers on a Train. So there does seem to be an influx of books in this genre of women turning the tables or women getting revenge. And hey, you're back.
Back.
Okay, so I was just saying to them, there's a number of books out there. Okay.
Okay.
And I happened to have ordered 3 of them.
Okay.
All right. This is Somebody Worth Killing,
Wow,
which, okay, just listen,
that's just
is
quite a title.
about,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
is about a devoted mother and devoted wife
Mm-hmm.
who has a secret life as an assassin taking out evil men.
Alrighty then.
Okay. And there's humor in here. Like it's
Okay.
humor. Like one of the things they say is meet Nadia Davis, a doting mom and loving wife who has a big secret. She's actually an assassin.
Okay.
And she really needs a babysitter who shows up on time.
Oh,
Okay. And I read the first
Okay.
chapter and it's pretty good.
All
And
right.
so it's called Somebody Worth Killing. And this is so interesting to me. She gets mommy tracked by her assassin agency.
Okay.
They're like, we've got kids, we can't really give you like the good contracts, right?
Right.
And she gets, irritated by that. And she says, give me somebody worth killing.
Oh, okay.
And you know whose name they give her? This is all in the summary, so it's not learning anything. Her husband.
Oh no. Dun dun dun.
Right? So that when they were talking about the groups that are normally underestimated, and she says stay-at-home moms, that's what
Okay.
she's talking about, right?
Okay.
Okay. Hot Girl Murder Club.
Okay.
This one is about, and of course, again, entertaining, right?
Mhm.
There is some humor. It's about aspiring actresses, singers, okay, who go after the men who preyed upon them as they were trying to get their careers going.
Okay.
Sexual
Okay.
predators, sexual
Mhm.
predators, okay?
Oh my
Those
gosh,
two,
what's the name of that movie? What's the name of that movie? Oh shoot. Keep going. I'll find it.
okay, you'll think of it. And then there's another one that's called We Already Dug the Grave. which
Okay.
I also ordered. That's on pre-order. That one's a little bit more dark. Follows two sisters who decide to permanently solve an abusive husband problem.
Okay.
Now, I was telling my friend Amy about this the other day when we were at the classic car rally, which I enjoyed 100%. There are like 1,000 cars there. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
And so because Amy loves to read and she's in the book club. And I said, remind me to tell you about these books, this article I read. So I was telling her, and she listens to our podcast faithfully.
Oh.
She even said to me, she's like, I want to meet Katie.
Oh.
And so she did. And she's gonna hear this right now. Hi, Amy. Love you.
Hi. We've met. There you go.
And I was telling her about these books. And she's so funny because obviously because she listens, she goes, Ellen, but you've said that's the stuff that you don't want to read. She's like, remember, she's like, you said you don't like to read stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh no. I said, this is different. This is different, right? Like stuff like Gone Girl or Sharp Objects, by Gillian Flynn, or anything by Colleen Hoover, as I told you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I said, those are like dark psychological stuff, right?
Yep.
I'm like, this is revenge.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is different. Like, to me, this is justice.
Okay.
And that's different. And that's why I love watching Dateline, right? And I know, but I watched back-to-back Datelines last night. Because now you can watch them on my TV and
Which
whatever.
I don't think they were ever meant to be watched back to back. I think that's quite a feat. Okay.
You probably really shouldn't do that. But I have noticed on Dateline, rarely is it a story where a man hasn't killed a woman.
Yeah.
Rarely.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think when they started Dateline that they thought this was going to be a recurring theme.
Who knows? I mean,
but it is
to investigate murder. Yeah.
But it is. All right. So there's this new genre. Okay. And she does go on to talk about, we've watched as government and civil institutions that are supposed to protect women and punish those who harm them appear rudder and toothless.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The right-wing influence on the Supreme Court succeeded in overturning Roe versus Wade. Nothing that we'd ever thought we'd see happen.
Correct.
Nothing that we ever thought we'd see happen, no matter what the administration, right?
Yes.
This is where I'm going to start to get a little worked up. The misogynistic violence of the current administration, I'm not going to say the name, both rhetorically and literally continues full bore.
Mm-hmm.
And almost worse is the weakened Democratic Party's routine failure to oppose them.
Right.
All right. This is where this is coming from, right? This is where this is coming from. This groundswell of frustration among women, also feeling targeted. My mom and I were talking yesterday about how this, the new voting thing, you have to married women to vote, you need to provide proof of your original birth name. Think of how many women change their names when they get married.
Yeah.
And then that government issued ID that you are supposed to provide to vote will not be in your birth name. It's in your married name. It is a very insidious, it's a very insidious way of trying to take the right to vote away from women.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. That's what that is. And she does go on to talk about Epstein, and she does go on talk about the return of so many canceled men to public life.
Yeah. And
the barrage of blood-curdling news stories such as Giselle Pellico that we talked about how many episodes ago?
That was a while ago.
The woman whose husband drugged her and let other men rape her and filmed it. Okay. So I have said before, and I'll say it again. I don't label myself as a feminist. I label myself as a humanist. Okay.
Okay.
And the fact that we have had to, over the years, fight for women's rights when really it should all go under the umbrella of human rights, because
Correct.
that's what we are, all of
Mhm.
us, male or female or
Mhm.
whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
If you exist in this country, you're supposed to have certain inalienable rights. They
Right.
should not have to be fought for.
Well, let me play devil's advocate just for a moment.
Go for
If
it.
we don't specify women's rights, then we're simultaneously negating the fact that they're being taken away. We have to specify, and same for gay rights. You know, if you just say it should be called human rights, well, that's the point exactly. But the whole reason we have to single it out is because those rights are being eroded away. So
And
that's why.
trampled on.
Mhm.
Yes. And it is, I never thought I would say this. And obviously my mom's 86. She's lived through a lot.
Mhm.
She finds this current time terrifying.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine. Yeah.
She does. And it doesn't, it won't really directly affect her because of her age.
But her children, her
She,
grandchildren, you
her
know.
children, she's not in her reproductive years, she's not like whatever. But she's looking at it from the whole of her life and all that she's lived through.
Mhm.
And she's just like,
Full
what,
circle,
what,
right? I know.
what's going on? What is
Mhm.
going on? And so, so that's like the book thing, right? But on Netflix, there's a movie that came out and it's called Ladies First.
Okay.
And there was an article. Look at me with all my research.
I
Just
know, you're just like pulling stuff out left and right. You don't even have to look for it. It's just right there.
article from The Guardian,
Mhm.
July 13th. Ladies first. Now, what
Mhm.
is my lighting doing? Do I look weird?
Looks fine. No,
It does. Are you sure? Why does my face look so pale?
that's that lighting thing that is, now you look green. That,
I look green?
well, you did, you switched something and you got kind of green.
Should I open should I have natural light coming
Yeah,
in?
because of the smoke.
That's better, isn't it?
That is better.
That's better. That's natural
Mhm.
light. Okay. Just a few adjustments, a little housekeeping, everyone.
Oh my God. I have to,
Nothing to
you
worry
go
about.
ahead. I have to, I'm sorry. I'm having a dog situation. Everybody's working from home today and he won't stop barking. And it's because he wants to play. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Go.
I'll just give the background. So there was an article in The Guardian on July 13th. Ladies First has been panned. It's still an essential watch. The Netflix gender flip comedy film in which Sacha Baron Cohen wakes up to a world run by female chauvinists is a valuable testimony to the enduring destructive force of gender bias. Okay, so basically what happens is Sacha Baron Cohen, who has been in other things, is like a male chauvinist. And in his, current life, right? And he knocks his head one day and wakes up in a world run by women who are like him. Okay, perfect. You're back. Okay,
The
so
world for women who are like, what?
okay. Just gonna backtrack. So the article in The Guardian is Ladies First has been panned. It's still an essential watch.
Okay.
And it's a gender flip comedy film so Sacha Baron Cohen, I'll
Mhm.
read it again. Damien, played by Sacha Baron Cohen, is a male chauvinist
Okay.
who knocks his head and wakes up in a world run by women who are like him.
Okay.
Ruthless in the boardroom and the bedroom, using and losing the opposite sex when it suits them. In this alternative reality, he sees what it's like to be on the receiving end of sexism. It
Okay.
co-stars, and this is so funny because what did I just say about hating Gone Girl?
Yeah.
It co-stars Rosamund Pike, who
Oh.
was in Gone Girl, right? So in his life where he's the male chauvinist, she's his employee. After he hits his head and goes to the other world, she's his boss.
That sounds interesting.
And so, but here's the interesting part.
Okay.
This is where it does get interesting. In the UK, and they said, it may seem absurd by flipping, if they flip the script, but it points out double standards and gendered language in a simple way,
Okay.
right? Men are talked over in meetings and expected to conform to unrealistic beauty goals. Victoria's Secret has become Victor's Secret. It says the movie, the movie has largely negative reviews. And as a film critic, I had my issues with it. For every scene that had me laughing, another had me cringing. And the largely binary heteronormative world it depicts is not everyone's reality. But she said, as a woman, I had an emotional response that should not be ignored. When the film acknowledged the casual ways in which we are routinely undermined, objectified, and patronized, I felt a mixture of amusement, relief, and validation. Now, here's where it gets interesting. She said this movie was widely kind of criticized, panned almost in a way. Okay. The UK broadsheet reviews of Ladies First were all written by men. The gender imbalance in UK film criticism is also a reality. So, the reviews in the UK of the movie were all written by men.
Yeah, so we don't have an accurate description of
And
the movie. Yeah.
Right? And the men panned it. So, I'm going to say this and then we'll move on. Other audience-led sites feature revealing reactions, such as a post on Reddit titled, "I'm male and just watched Ladies First." The writer states, "I've always considered myself a feminist. I believe women and men should be treated equally. But really, before watching this film, I thought we were. The whole role reversal does not seem so shocking were it at the original format, which got me thinking that maybe we as men don't truly understand how women are treated in life."
Maybe just a thought.
Yeah. And okay. So, okay. That's what's happening in trends. Okay. In fiction, right? Fiction. Okay. So, these women who are writing Hot Girl Murder Club and Somebody Worth Killing, fiction, right? People, that author's not actually an assassin who's going around killing evil men, okay? No.
Yeah.
But you see the fantastical side of it. Like, see how women are drawn to it.
Look, and I think even on a bigger scale, look, when these people these days, it's not just like people just write a book and go, oh, I hope it does well. There's a lot of market research that goes into it.
Sure.
So the fact that the data is saying, hey, what's going to be a bestseller is if you have these women killing people, et cetera, out of vengeance. So I think that's an interesting reflection of what the entertainment world wants, is what they're looking for. Especially if it's different authors, same theme kind of thing. So that is a reflection of the times for sure, because it's not just these authors sitting around going, oh, I think I'll write about this.
And also too, it is a way for me. I mean, well, we'll take a look. I read this article. What did I do? I bought 3 of the books. You know why? Because it resonates with me. Okay. And it's also a way, like I said, when my friend Amy said, well, that's not something you normally like to read. I was like, no, this is because this is justice. Even if it's just fictional and fantasy, it's there's an element of justice there. And this is not a new idea. Does anybody recall the movie The Burning Bed with Farrah Fawcett?
Oh yeah.
When she set her abusive husband on fire. Okay. There was a book that I read years ago called Black and Blue. And it was about a woman whose husband was a police officer and he was physically abusive,
Oh,
and she took matter
yeah.
into her own hands, right?
Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
not a new idea. And it's
Mhm.
not a new idea because it's been going on forever.
Mhm.
And, it can be subtle, it can be overt. And I'll tell you, and I'm sure we both have examples in our lives.
Mhm.
I remember I was 26 years old, working at an insurance agency. One of the principals of the insurance agency was only 2 years older than me. And we used to go out for all this big group of people, go out to drink, go for drinks. And one night he told me I had a great rack.
Yeah.
Okay. And back then you're just kind of like, oh, what did I say? Thank you.
Mhm.
Because if I would have been like, that is completely inappropriate, and blah, 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 he would have been like, crazy female, right? And I'm
Yeah.
over it, Katie.
Yeah.
I'm over it. And, I had a recent example, and this was someone I've known for years and years. And, when we were in our teens, we dated.
Mhm.
Okay. And when we full disclosure here, we dated when we were teenagers. I lost my virginity to him.
Mhm.
We are still friends
Mhm.
decades and decades later
Mhm.
because our families have cottages near each other, the whole thing.
Mhm.
And we both got married, had kids, got divorced, whatever. And there seems to be, in my mind, and from what I've seen and actions he has taken, this
Mhm.
preconceived notion that if I'm single and he's single, then we should be having sex.
Really?
Like, to him, it's just like, just seems there's been a couple of advances that I've rebuffed. There's all these little subtle things that he does. And so what happened just a couple of weeks ago, and I was with my son Gray, and we were taking a walk on the beach, and we saw him, and my kids know him and everything like that. And this just, it set me over the edge. It really did.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Oh, hold on. Can you get this spot on my back with sunscreen that I can never get?
Are you
This one I can
kidding
never get."
me?
I'm not kidding you. And he was sitting under an umbrella. I go, "You're sitting under an umbrella."
Mhm.
He goes, "Oh, well, but I want to go in the water." So, like, I go, "Well, then Gray can do it." Gray was like, because I was trying to make a point.
Yeah.
I was. And he stood up. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. This is what I mean when I'm speaking to people directly here. I said no.
Mhm.
He stood up with the sunscreen, took me by the arm. I go, "What are you doing?" And he like turned me around. He's like, "I
Wow.
want to show you on your back what spot I want done."
Wow.
And I was like, and I didn't do it right at the time. You know what Gray said to him?
Hmm.
"Stop trying to have sex with my mom."
Oh, great.
And this guy was like, "What?"
Mhm.
And Gray said, "Stop trying to have sex with my mom."
Mhm. 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 Good for
And
him.
so I freaking, of course, I slapped sunscreen on and we walk with like, "Well, we're getting out of here." And Gray was like, "That, like, what was that?"
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's your mom, right? Like, and Gray is not afraid to say anything. And I was actually like, wow, like, and so I sent a message to this guy,
Mhm.
said, "I respectfully request, because this is not the first time, and there's been other more, very much more overt
Mhm.
times. Um, I respectfully request that you stop putting me in situations where either you're trying to get me to touch you or you're touching me, and it's
Mhm.
unwanted.
Mhm.
It's unwanted." And he goes, "What are you talking about?
Yeah, of course.
The sunscreen thing?" I said, "Yes, unwanted and unnecessary." I said, "And if you cannot respect what I'm saying to you, I can no longer be your friend."
So let me ask you this. I guess, why did you end up actually putting the sunscreen on?
You know what? I was thinking about that myself
Yeah.
because I didn't want to be called a hysterical, overreacting female.
Mm.
And now I'm like, I'm not overreacting. I don't want to fucking touch you.
Yeah.
And I don't want you touching me. And you
Yeah.
know what? That is a very basic tenet in life.
Yeah.
I don't
And
want
yet,
your hands on
even
me.
after all these years, look at the conditioning still, even as you left, even though you did it in frustration, you still did it. Yeah.
Yep. Still did it. Still did
Yeah.
it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still did it.
Yeah.
And another example, and this is quick, texting with one of my work colleagues that we became friends outside of work. Just friends. Just friends.
Mhm.
And we're texting and it was because remember that guy who got like thrown up in the air by the bison at
Oh
Yellowstone?
yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy, when he found out that Ian was going to Yosemite, because Ian's working in Yosemite,
Yeah.
this guy's kind of an adventurer, right? He was like, oh my God, he's like, hook me up with your son. He's like, I want to ride the bison in Yosemite. I guess you can do that. Kind of seems like
Okay.
animal cruelty to
It
me.
doesn't seem okay.
Yeah. And so I made a joke and I said, I don't think you're gonna be wanting to ride any bison anymore. He was like, oh my God, I saw that. He was like, no, thank you now, whatever. We joke back and forth. Then he says to me, hey, send me some pictures of the girls your son's hanging out with in Yosemite.
What?
Yeah. And I go, what?
Yeah. Right.
I go, that's a little creepy, don't you think? He's like, oh no, he's like, have fun with it. Have fun with it. I
What does that
go,
mean?
you're fucked up. And you know what he said to me?
Huh.
I said that, you're fucked up. Like it totally took me off guard. And he said to me, I'm so sad for you, Ellen. I blocked him and deleted his number.
Uh-huh.
I was talking and when I woke up the next morning, well, you know what my original thought was? Did I
Hmm.
overreact? Did I overreact?
Right.
Then I was like, wait a minute. And then I talked to my son, Peter, and I ran the story by him. And he said, overreact? He goes, this is a almost 50-year-old man who wants pictures of your son's female friends who are going to be 2021, where he works. He's like, Mom, overreact? He's like, you did the exact right thing.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
And this is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was walking down the street and a gentleman stopped me and said, I just wanted to tell you, you're a lovely woman.
Okay.
You're a very attractive woman. I'm like, thank you so much. I'm going to go out on
Right.
my merry way. Okay. I'm
Mhm.
not saying I'm going vigilante on every guy who's ever going to, what I'm saying is there are behaviors that have been normalized
Yes,
over
absolutely.
decades, if not hundreds of years,
Yes.
that women are tired. And they are tired of it to the point where they are writing fiction and creating movies where some of them are getting killed. Okay. I'm not saying that. I mean, listen, there's been enough intimate partner violence where it's the male killing the female, just going on data, um, because he's just an abusive piece of shit.
Hmm.
I don't know what the stats are of a woman being abused and turning around, and you don't hear a lot of that.
Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, and you know what they
Well,
do? Here's the thing that, this is relevant. So they made a whole series out of it, right? And what did they call it?
what?
Snapped.
Oh, because they lost their mind.
Yeah. And so
Gotcha.
you'd think it would be, and a lot of them are about revenge. And look, I'm not advocating for violence if you've
Not
been
at all.
cheated on or, whatever.
Not at
But
all.
the fact that, they did the whole series, just generalized every single woman as if they were just crazy.
Okay. Right. Here, this is the stuff that just drives me up a wall, right? Like I, in my former
You can't even
relationship,
speak. You can't.
I mean, in my former relationship
Mhm.
with the father of my children, I'm trying to find more and more neutral terms to refer to them because like seriously,
Yeah.
you put a tracking device in my car,
Mhm.
okay, which is
Absolutely.
illegal.
Yes, indeed.
And like we talked about this with Johnny Fiorica when we had him on, it was illegal because the car was only in my name.
Right.
If my ex-husband's name had been on it, it wouldn't have been illegal because he would have been part owner.
Tracking his own car.
All
Sure.
right.
I gotcha.
It's called unlawful surveillance. We call
Mhm.
it stalking, same thing, right?
Yep.
And when it all came to light and the detectives subpoenaed the records from the company and that came in and he got arrested, I remember he got arrested on January 4th, 2018. Got a phone call that night from his brother,
Mhm.
okay, who obviously I had known for years.
Mhm.
It's my kid's uncle. Um, Ellen, I cannot believe you got Drew. I can't believe you got him arrested.
Mhm. Yep.
Got him arrested. I want
Mhm.
people to understand that it's not possible to walk into a police station and say, I want so and so arrested. Please go get him.
How dare you?
There have to be grounds. There has to be cause. You can't just
Uh-huh.
get someone arrested because you don't like the way they looked at you.
No, actually, it's not that easy. A lot of times they won't do it at all.
No, they won't,
Yeah.
especially if it seems circumstantial, which we had a whole conversation about that, right? So
Yeah.
here's what's happening. My mom and I were also talking about this. This is like Battle of the Sexes 2.0. All right. Not only do we have like revenge fiction coming out,
Mhm.
we've seen, women swearing off dating, swearing off having kids. But here's the difference, okay? In our Battle of the Sexes 2.0, it's probably 5.0 by now.
I know, right?
In our current culture, women are more employed, more independent, more, they own their own homes, they have careers, they have retirement accounts. You know, you are not battling the woman who was the stay-at-home mom and homemaker who couldn't have a credit card or a home in her own name.
Right. Right.
You're battling a whole different animal.
Absolutely.
All right. And that's why it's different. And that's why the divide is becoming so ugly in some places
Mm-hmm.
where, and I've made this comment, there is a certain type of man that exists right now in our country that is gaining boldness again because of the backing of the current political climate, which
Okay.
speaks to some men like this, who are now looking at women and minorities as the enemy and as a threat because they think that we have taken their privileged way of life away from them.
Mm.
Women being allowed to work, women being in the workplace, you're just stealing jobs from men. I actually had my ex-husband say that to me. Women in the workforce have stolen jobs from men who are providers.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. That's not going to change. As
Mhm.
much as it seems like they want to be pushing us back into the kitchen,
Mhm.
it's not going to happen.
Right.
So I don't know what the answer is, right? I don't, but something that also like Mary Lou sent me an article. Okay, so these books and these the movie, whatever, fantasy, fiction, right? Not reality.
Promising Young Woman. That was the movie. Did you see that?
No,
Oh boy, you need
it's
to see
older.
that.
It's older. It's like an older movie.
Maybe 5 years ago.
Okay. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I
I'll
won't tell
look
you
it
about
up.
it. It's revenge.
All right. All right. All right. I'm sure there's other ones out there.
You
They
know
were
what?
just
I'm sitting here
one
thinking
off.
there's a lot of them. Like, so if you go, what's the one now they turned it, it was more comedy, but the one with Bette Midler, Goldie Hawn, the Divorced Women's
First,
Club,
the First Wives Club.
your First Wives Club, Diane Keaton, even the Witches of Eastwick, how they went after, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Love that movie.
Yeah. Um, Death Becomes Her, these
Sure.
movies
But
where
see, it's always kind of done like in a comedic
that's what
sense.
I'm saying. But it's interesting to see. So if you go on like the authors, like with your first article that you were reading about these things are going, the dynamic is the same, right?
Right.
Revenge,
Right.
these women taking control. However, the tone is reflective of the culture of the time.
That's her point.
So I
Right.
would say, all right, take a gather. What year do you think First Wives Club came out? I'm going to say 92.
I'm saying it's in the 90s.
Pick a year.
Uh,
Let's see how close we are because we've
I'm gonna
we've
go
lived.
like 1997.
Okay.
You gonna look it
And
up?
the answer is 96. Good for you. So, which is interesting because this had an interesting mix of some seriousness and litigation, right?
Mhm.
But it was also, they had to throw that comedy in there. So then I would say early 90s would I would say we're still making it fantastic, right? So I'd say Witches of
Right.
Eastwick, Death Becomes Her. I'd say those are early 90s because we need to make these women not real, right? All
Yes.
right, so let me
Almost
say
like caricatures, right? Because
caricatures. Yeah.
then they don't seem like it'll ever happen or that'll be
Oh
a
my God,
threat.
we are nailing this.
What?
1992, Death Becomes Her. Okay, this is a fun game. Hold on. So think of, Witches of Eastwick, 1988, 1987. So same vibe. So we need to make them fantastical, right? They can't
Right.
be real. But we hit 96, 97. They can be real women who have been scorned, but we're still going to make it a comedy,
We're still gonna make it a
right?
comedy. Well, I mean, and don't forget about fried green tomatoes. That was not a
Well, see,
comedy.
now that was a bold move.
That was
And
dark.
that's why it holds so true today, because
Mhm.
they went right into, and again, if you have you read the book?
I read the book and saw the movie.
Yeah. So you can see even the movie, hard to believe, but
Mhm.
the movie was toned down.
Yes, very much so.
So they
Very
had
much
to,
so.
so they couldn't really, or my God, I mean, if we're going down that route, I was keeping it within the groups of women coming together and like, First Wives Club, Death Becomes a group of three or more, where they come together as women and they rise above. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's a really good one. Oh my God, you're gonna love this. Ready?
Well,
9 to 5.
oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Dabney Coleman, the total chauvinist, like
Lily
sexual harassing
Tomlin. Oh my
boss.
God, absolutely. But complete comedy.
And that
Just
was like the
literally,
70s. I
yeah.
mean, like,
And well, early 80s. I'm gonna say 82.
I'm gonna
What
say,
are
I'm
you gonna
gonna
say?
say 79.
Mm, You're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna say 82. 1980. You're closer. Good
Ooh.
for you. Good for you.
Ooh. But you know
But
what? You know what's amazing
mm,
is think about, okay, so 9 to 5 is considered a comedy. It's
hmm
considered a comedy.
absolutely.
It's funny that they
But
tied Dabney
smart, right?
Coleman up,
Smart
you know,
because
like,
they could not bring this awareness in a dramatic way. They
no,
couldn't.
no, no. And you know what? Those days are over. And like, there are so like there were so many things that happened this week. Like Mary Lou sent me. Okay, so that was as I was going to say. Books and films, that are written in fictional. These are fictional aspects. Okay, so like not real from someone's creative mind or imagination or whatever. Okay. But then we have to enter into the real world and where
Hmm
things do happen. And Mary Lou sent me a text the other day. Her and I have these conversations pretty often, of the executive pastor at the chapel who just
Yeah.
pled guilty.
Do you know that there's a woman who lives in Grand Island, who has had a podcast for years, has been sued for defamation because she's been trying to expose this?
You're trying to expose this guy? Ha, 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 ha,
Yeah.
ha. Well,
Not just him,
she
but others.
she will not be sued for so okay. So, but the interesting thing, okay, John Camardo III
Mm-hmm.
of Williamsville
Mm-hmm.
pled guilty this morning to 1 count of rape in the 2nd degree and 1 count of course of sexual conduct against a child in the 2nd degree. These are Class D violent felonies.
Yes, because that's what he agreed to. Because if he agreed to plead guilty to that, can you imagine what they had on him?
Well, the victims were less than 15 years old and less than 13 years old.
Yeah.
And this is someone who's an executive pastor at a mega church called the Chapel. All right. Here's my point. And then this was the other night on the news. They led with his story.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one right after that was the priest on administrative leave.
Yep.
Who also in Buffalo,
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Nowak, 46 years old.
Yep.
Arrested and charged by criminal complaint with receipt and possession of child pornography, which carry a mandatory minimum penalty of 5 years, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. He was exchanging pornographic images on the dark web through a program called Telegram. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. With other men, or whoever, other interested parties. Yep. He has been on administrative leave for 7 years because of the original accusation. I didn't know still that. Being paid by the church. Okay. Here's where I'm going with this.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
These are real things, friends. Mm-hmm. So aren't we all getting a little tired of men abusing their power in certain situations? Mm-hmm. Aren't we all getting just a little tired of it? Mm-hmm. The amount of either arrogance, I don't know. Did this executive pastor, this John Camardo, did he look at the chapel as his personal playground? Did he?
He was also a coach.
He was a coach of girls soccer.
Yeah. I don't know where he got them. Yeah. If it was, this has been going on.
Here's the thing. And this is why this totally worked me up. How do
use your words, big girl?
I know, I'm trying to, but executive pastor, supposedly following the teachings of, Jesus or God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, yep.
And here you are. Did you think you had is this some kind of privilege that you thought you had? Is this some kind of right you thought that you had to these youngsters because of your position in power, whether it was you being a pastor or a coach, or this priest who don't tell me they didn't have eyes on this guy from the time he was ordained. Come on. They are now finally asking for him to be defrocked. Mm-hmm. And that's only because he just got arrested and charged. Mm-hmm. Okay. Were they just going to let him just while away in the friggin',
I'm still stuck. You said 7 years? 7 years?
Yes. 7 years. And how the only way, okay, the only way this is going to be mitigated, minimized, nipped in the bud, stopped, is if we teach girls or any targeted
Do not
population.
rub sunscreen on their back, no matter what you think you should do. Yeah.
And it's not that we want to raise anxious, paranoid people.
Mhm.
The only way we're going to stop teachers, coaches, cops, pilots, judges from doing these things is to tell someone, if it doesn't feel right, nail them in the groin and run away.
One of my favorite podcasts. Do you ever listen to My Favorite Murder?
No.
Oh, you should.
I
But
don't
one
know
of
if I
their
need any more murder in my life.
Well, it's
Like,
these two women, Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark, and they are best friends, and they
Mhm.
bonded on their interest in true crime. And they started this little podcast, and now it's massive, and
Of
they're
course.
hysterical.
I think I may have heard of them.
So
I
yeah,
think I may
I
have.
mean, and they talk. It's a lot about female power, and they talk about one of their catchphrases is "fuck politeness."
Yeah,
Because
gotcha.
they're our age, and well, Karen is, and talks about all that different vibe where you're just, and they go over these murders all the time where a lot of these women are like, well, and then I went, and then she entered the car because she felt badly or whatever like that. And so one of their things is fuck politeness because that's what you were taught, but that's what they use against you. And then
Yes.
there's guilt around. Yeah.
Yeah. I very much believe that.
Mhm.
Like when you said, why did you put the sunscreen on them?
Yeah. You're
I didn't
wired
want to
that
make
way. Yeah.
I didn't
It's,
want to make a scene.
I know.
Right? I didn't want to make a scene, and I'm not someone who,
You're not.
clearly I then
That is
expressed to him.
it's so like knee jerk. It's so embedded in you. Yeah.
It is very embedded.
Mhm.
And I think it's embedded in a lot of us,
Yeah.
especially at this age. And it has to be unlearned. It has to
Oh,
be
it's terrible.
unlearned.
When I was younger, I could shake, that, and most women do know this feeling, where you're hanging out with some guy or something like that, and all of a sudden the energy shifts.
Yeah.
You feel it, and it's just like, whoa. And I remember being so bummed. I would be hanging out with some guy that I really, really liked, and then it shifted, and he tried to come on to me or something. And I remember feeling like, really?
Well, that is one of the things that I said to this friend of mine, the sunscreen friend, when I said, and it honestly, I don't think he gets it. Right.
I don't
And
think
I
so
said women don't want to be treated like objects.
either. No,
And of
because
course,
he's immediately going into, see, here's the thing, Ellen.
she's being hysterical. It'll
Even though
blow
you
over.
didn't want to be come off as a hysterical woman, you did anyway, simply because you said no. It doesn't
Simply
matter.
because I
It's
said
like
no.
it doesn't matter unless you comply. And you know what? If you didn't comply a little bit further, a little bit further, he would have tagged you as that anyway. It doesn't matter, you know?
Do you know that even as I'm sitting here and I told that story,
Mhm.
that I'm worried about backlash?
Wow.
Even as I'm sitting here, I'm
What would
thinking
the
to myself,
backlash be?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, this is someone who, okay, so like, we should be able to say these things.
Yeah.
This is not defamation.
And you know what? And
This
then let
is
me open
this
the
is
forum
what
too,
happened.
also. And let me open the forum too, especially with the guys that I work with. It goes both ways. Some of the things that women do
Oh, sure.
to men, I'm like,
Oh,
what?
sure.
Come up and grab their dicks? It's just like, what?
People
It's
actually
just,
do that?
yeah. Oh,
I
so
guess
you say
it does go
yeah, they'll
both
be
ways.
like, yeah. Oh, so you say you have quite a package? Let me see. That kind of thing. Yeah, there's been stuff like that.
Darn.
It's like, whoa,
Whoa.
yeah,
Well, I'm telling you, we're in a really horrible age, right? Okay. Like young girls, women, whatever age you are, we need to be really careful. I mean, with the advent of revenge porn
yep.
and stuff like that,
Mhm.
that's terrifying. It's terrifying. If
It
you're gonna
is.
send nudes to someone, don't put your face in them. That's
Don't.
my suggestion to you.
I have a funny story, but I can't disclose. But anyway, it made me think of something. All right, I have to go shortly, but let's do one more. Okay. It was so we have these movies that began, and I'm thinking, I can't stop thinking about because there's certain movies that started shifting the culture into the next realm
Okay.
of women coming together, right? And taking back their control or whatever. So one that began to shift the culture and move past the comedy stuff was Thelma
Okay.
and Louise.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, violence and abuse
Yeah.
and
And
rape.
then ended them with committing suicide. These women,
Couldn't there have
these
been a
women could not fully have their revenge and they couldn't possibly imagine going into court and defending themselves or anything like that. Instead, they'd rather die. Okay.
don't you remember Harvey Keitel was the
Yes.
detective and he so was like, please come and talk, like come in and talk to me, come in and
And
talk
they're
to me,
like,
come in and
shh.
talk to me. And
Yep.
they never, because they didn't trust him because he was a man. Okay.
Yep.
They didn't trust him because he was a man and he was a cop. And they felt that he was going to treat them the same way they had been treated by the other men in their lives. By
Hmm.
which one was Thelma? Which was Louise was Gina Davis?
I think so.
No,
Yeah.
Louise was Susan Sarandon. Either way,
Yes. Yeah.
Gina Davis had the abusive husband. Okay. Gina Davis is the one who just had a couple of drinks and was doing the two-step with the guy in a bar, and he ends up
Hmm.
taking her out to the parking lot and raping her, and the other
Yep.
lady kills him.
Yep.
Okay. I think every female who watched that scene,
Oh, it's terrible.
rape
Oh,
scenes make me incredibly uncomfortable,
they make me nauseous. Yeah.
nauseous. To the point where when you're watching this, you know it's gratuitous and it's for a movie and this is fiction. But when she shoots him, you're like, yes,
Hmm. Okay.
correct?
So pivotal change and pivotal change in the 1980 9 to 5 thing and the
Right.
you know and all the fantastical revenge women, witches of Eastwick, death becomes her. So you already know that this has to be it was a ballsy move and it was changing culture. Name your year.
Ballsy move and changing culture.
Yeah, Thelma and Louise.
And I have to name the year.
Yeah, because they still had to kill themselves at the end, but there was no comedy.
Oh, that movie was not funny. One of Brad Pitt's first roles,
It was his
though.
first major role. Yeah.
Um, I'm going with 2001.
Wow. I already know the answer because I looked it up.
What?
Go back further. Really, really pushing the envelope. Yeah, earlier.
1995?
91.
Really?
Yeah. And if you
This
listen
should
to
tell people something,
yeah.
okay?
And then what happened after that? So then a couple years later, we have First Wives Club. We have the changing of the culture. Somebody's got to come in and do it hardcore, and they did. They really did. Yeah.
Because you know what you're watching? It going from being soft and comedic
Hmm.
in the 9 to 5. Okay,
Hmm.
you know why? If that was in 1980, women had only had the right to have a credit card in their own name for 8 years at that point in
Yeah, we had
time.
to tread lightly, but not for
You
nothing.
did.
They had a whole S&M. Dabney Coleman was all S&M'd out, remember? Hanging. If you haven't seen 9 to 5 people, because that's all they had. And Dolly Parton, or one of them, Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, one of them had to go in and buy all this BDSM gear. It's actually, I think I might need to see. That's
But do
really
you see how the evolution of the genre, the evolution of the media in
oh
relation
yeah.
to this has gone from soft to way more serious and dark and
And now we're
hard. And
talking about, so it went from,
that's because we
right?
have more
So
of
it
a
went from
toehold. We
comedic,
have
soft,
more.
fantastical, then it went to hardcore, just protecting themselves. Think of Jodie Foster and The Accused, you
I
know.
can't even talk about that movie. I
Yep.
cannot even talk about that
Okay. All
movie.
right.
I
Done.
can't. That
And
one
and
is, oh,
now we've And now we've got these books where women are just downright killing people. I don't know if that's a good way to end it, but all right.
Just saying, what you're watching is women feeling like they have more agency. And so they have more of a voice. Okay. 9 to 5 was fluffy and funny with some S&M thrown in. That now we've got, you know, and there's some big names in these movies, right? There's some big names
Massive
associating
names.
themselves.
And you know what? And they did it. I gotta go.
All right.
I got a client. I gotta go.
Because you are an independent, successful career woman
I am
who owns her
with
own home.
that's right. I do outright, actually.
Oh,
just
I
paid
don't
off
hear
the
that.
mortgage.
Okay, now you're just bragging. Now you're just bragging. Okay, stop that.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.